This chapter we will be analyzing about the blockchain fundamentals or basics of blockchain. That is, our main motive is to grasp all the blockchain fundamentals. As I mentioned, blockchain is a shared distributed ledger that facilitates the process of recording transactions and tracking assets in business network. It is important to understand two major things. The first comes a notion about tracking the blockchain's origin and understanding the various type of cons in the current existing transaction system, or we can say the current transaction systems has certain cons and shortcomings in it and we need to overcome that. So we will be focusing on these 2 points, starting with tracing origin and shortcomings of the current transaction system. So you can gain a deeper understanding of blockchain by exploring the context in which it was developed, the need for an efficient, cost-effective, reliable and secure system for conducting and recording the financial transactions. So in this section, I will provide you the complete detail and context and describe the characteristics of blockchain that make it as a suitable solution. So now we will be focusing on a deeper understanding as we have got a better picture. Like it is just a network which includes a various type of shared ledger and everything is shared. The resources are shared, nothing is centralized. So the next important thing which is necessary to, as we have understood about the blockchain thing, the tracing origin concepts, and over there we have got a better picture. Like it is a shared distributed ledger and it includes virtually everything of a value that can be tracked and traded on a blockchain network, reducing the risk and cutting cost for whatever it is involved. Now coming to the shortcomings of the current transaction system. Throughout history, instruments of trust such as minted coins, paper money, letters of credit and banking systems have emerged to facilitate the exchange of value and protect buyers and sellers. So important innovations, say for telephone lines, credit card systems, internet and mobile technologies, have improved the convenience, speed and efficiency of transactions while shrinking and sometimes virtually eliminating the distance between the buyers and sellers. So there were scenarios which were becoming vulnerable. Say the business transaction which is happening was not considered to be that secure. Many business transactions remain inefficient, expensive and vulnerable, suffering from various limitations or shortcomings. So say it like the first shortcoming is like cash. If you consider for cash is useful only in local transactions and relatively small amounts is used. And the time between the transaction and the settlement can be long. Say it for an EMI payment. The settlement will be done if your complete EMI is being properly paid. That is just a simple example, but there are various type of transactions which gives that the time between the transaction and settlement is considered to be quite long. There is also duplication of effort and the need for third-party validation and the presence of intermediaries. Intermediaries can be the people who are involved in the particular transaction. So there are various type of intermediaries getting involved within the transaction and that is why it leads to various type of inefficiencies. Fraud, cyber attacks and even simple mistakes add to the cost and complexity of doing business and they expose all participants in the network to risk if the central system such as a bank is compromised. Say for example, a bank has a centralized system where everything has been noted down in that centralized server. Suppose something happens to the centralized server, then what will happen? It will be compromised. The entire details which is quite legal or we can say which is very, very important and prime, so that will be compromised. So this will lead to various type of issues. So it is always better to have something shared in it because if you keep everything under one place and if it gets lost, then it will be on a great loss for your system. Say for your project, let it be any web development project or any of the mobile development project. Consider for credit card organizations. They have created walled gardens with a high price of entry. Merchants must pay the high cost of onboarding, which often involves considerable paperwork and a time-consuming vetting process. Half of the people in the world don't have access to the bank account, and which is true, and have to develop a parallel payment systems to conduct the transactions. So this is also a very primary cause, like they don't have a bank account only. So there is no chance like they have to create something of the payment system where they can conduct the transactions. So the transaction volumes has increased in a rapid rate. Say for a worldwide, say we can say for exponential rate, and because of this it magnified the complexities, vulnerabilities, inefficiencies and cost of current transaction systems. The growth of e-commerce or say online banking, and there are various type of in-app purchases, say for Amazon, Flipkart, Myntra and so on. And the increasing mobility of the people around the world have fueled the growth of transaction volumes. And the volumes has increased to such a rate like you can't even imagine. So we need some better solution where everything can be managed in an easy way. Transaction volumes will explode the rise of Internet of Things, which is also called as IoT. Autonomous objects such as refrigerators that buy groceries when supplies are running low, and cars that deliver themselves to your door, stopping, or we can say stopping your fuel all the way. These kind of solutions can happen. To address these challenges or to find a solution for these challenges, the world need a payment network that are fast and that provides a mechanism which establishes trust, requires no specialized equipment, has no chargebacks or monthly fees, and provides a collective bookkeeping solution for ensuring a transparency and trust. For that, there came a picture of blockchain as we can see over here. This is the logo for blockchain. Now in the next chapter, we'll analyze more about a simple example of blockchain, or we can say an emerging technology which is the Bitcoin, which follows a blockchain data structure, and we will analyze the birth of Bitcoin and the emergence of Bitcoin both together.